Hello, Reckoning7 and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts in our Shipyard Champions. And this will be week 3. But before we jump into this week's challenge, let's have a quick review of how last week went. So, of course, last week's challenge was to take on this behemoth, the Seejager, which we didn't know we were taking on when we designed our fleet. We made a pretty sexy fleet of 2 heavy cruisers and a battle cruiser. And then we came up against this insanely armoured slowpoke of a behemoth with large 18-inch caliber guns, and we got pretty resoundingly thumped, to be perfectly honest. Partly because I had designed my fleet to be HE focused and burning out vessels, and this thing just laughed at me and then shredded my my ships from afar, which was a very sad sight. But that's okay. So that's how I got on. But how did my other competitor get on? And of course, more importantly, who won the challenge for last week? So without further ado, let's jump over and have a look at the scores. And so here we have it. So here's the scores from week 2. As you can see, everyone did poorly. In fact, everyone failed to sink the Seejager, and most of us took catastrophic losses. But coming in with a victory is Brother Monroe, who came last in week 1, but has actually sneaked into the lead and has won week 2 by managing to escape with one of his ships, and thereby gets a point for having surviving part of his fleet. So congratulations to Brother Monroe. But needless to say, we were all a little bit dejected about the outcome and the fact that the Seejager trounced us. And so our challenge for week 3 is an opportunity to get our revenge. So the Seejager is going to make another appearance. This time she's going to be escorted by 2 heavy cruisers and 2 destroyers, and we'll have a look at those in a minute. And we've been given a budget of $5 billion with which to design our fleet. So we get points. So we get points for sinking ships, we get points for every 5 torpedo hits, and we get an extra 2 points if we sink the entire enemy fleet. And then we lose points for every ship we lost and for every 5 torpedoes taken. Now, and there's a slight condition at the base where we were only allowed to disengage if the Seejager is sunk, and we're not allowed to leave before then. And I think that was added because then I was doing a wrap up for week 2. I realised that actually I could have won week 2 if I'd simply turned around and run away, because I would have got 2 points for my entire fleet surviving, even if I'd never fought a duel. That would have been dull, but that would have been a very Taskmaster-esque approach to the challenge. But yeah, for this week, so what are we going to do with this? I think from the off, I'm going to completely ignore torpedoes, right? Obviously, I'm going to not get hit by them, but I'm not going to build like a bunch of torpedo-centric destroyers, because I think light, fast, torpedo-based vessels are also going to be very vulnerable to just being murdered. And because the point lost is based on every ship and not on tonnage or cost, I think I'm far more vulnerable to lose points than I am to get multiples of 5 torpedo hits. I just don't see them that often. 5 feels like a lot. So I think what we're going to go for is going for a point for every enemy ship sunk and an extra double points for sinking every enemy ship. So we're going to aim to destroy all 5 of them, which would give us a total of 7 points. And hopefully that's where we'll stay. Of course, we need to design a fleet to do this. So let's go back over to the shipyard. In fact, this should get us there. So this is the Seejager. As we've said already, 18-inch guns, good penetration right out to range. We're not going to be able to design a ship which these things cannot beat. Please don't do that. Hang on. I'll give you your 18-inch guns back. That's the other thing I do. I could just secretly destroy them. Right, you get on there. Don't go away. Right, I was trying to point out on the HE AP penetration table on the right hand side, which I'm pointing to at my screen, like a good content creator, because you can't see that. You can see the distances. The first 2 numbers are the penetration for HE and AP of the belt armor. So let's say 20,000 meters there, we're penetrating 6.4 inches with HE and 40 inches with AP. And then after the dash is your deck penetration. Obviously, the further out you are, you're far more likely to be plunging fire, and therefore actually it's going to be deck penetrations. And so again, at 2,000 or 20,000 meters, it's 9.6 inches for HE and 60 inches for AP. So there's no way we're going to be defending against AP. But what we could do, I suppose, is give ourselves that minimum and say, look, we don't want to be penetrated by his HE shells. So we could try and design around that. So say, look, we want to have, and let's say an engagement range of, I don't know, something like 10 to 15,000 meters. So we're looking at a belt of, I don't know, 12 inches, say, for defending against HE at the closest range, and 9 inches or so defending against plunging fire at the deck range. And that would give us immunity to his HE, or, good protection. But we'll see. So we're not going to be able to make this immune. And again, I don't want to build lots of ships because I think that's just giving him more targets to sink. This guy's really slow, 25 knots. The heavy cruiser, a little bit faster, 32 knots, rocking some 11 inches. And then destroyer, faster again, 36 knots. And of course, the big threat being the torpedo batteries that it has. Nice little pop guns. Also worth noting, so this guy's got 20 inches of belt, which is pretty chunky, and 10 inches of deck. So again, we're going to want to look a lot of AP fire if we want to knock this dude out. So with that in mind, I think what we're going to do, I've got 5 billion. I'm going to probably build 2 chunky battleships with some chunky guns, and the aim is going to be to try and maintain quite a large engagement range and try and knock this thing out without his escorts really getting too involved. So if we have a look at the 11-inch guns, I mean, they do have range out to almost 20k. And what's the deck penetration? Well, AP for deck penetration is actually pretty good. So even then, it's kind of, we're talking, 15, 18, 21 inches. So we're probably not going to be able to get vulnerability against these things. We are going to have to pay attention. So something to consider. We may be able to kind of get away with not being spotted for some of that. Okay, so, but the intent, I think, is try and keep a bit of distance rather than go in brawling, and then either knock this guy out first, or maybe even try and knock out some of the heavy crews first. I haven't quite decided yet. We only get one shot, so I'll need to have a think before we get in there. But maybe let's get in and start designing our vessels. So we're looking for, we're going to be 2.5 billion is our limit, so we're not going to be quite as expensive as this bad boy, but let's see what we end up with. So who are we going for, what nation? Well, given we are talking about a somewhat of a willy-waving big gun fight, and who does excessively bigger any better than our cousins over in the United States. So I thought that was a very suitable country with which to go for this challenge. And do we want to rock in with a super battleship? I don't know. We'll have to look at how much these things cost when built. And there might be a little bit of finagling here with our weights and things. Now, we do know the Seejager is 25, the heavy cruise is 32, and the destroyers are 36. 28 is not terrible. If we could sneak up to a 30, that would be good. And maybe somewhere we're going to try and keep that at. Range doesn't matter. Bulkheads are good. We'll keep the beam. Training, we do want veterans. Presumably that comes with a cost. Yeah, minimal cost, that's fine. Maybe just go for standard quarters for just now. Shall we do this first? Yeah, let's run through this stuff. We can always tweak it later. So fuel. Now, this is where cost does come into it. But fuel cost seems fairly minimal. It will make my engines more expensive, though, but only by like 50,000 this cost me. I think that's probably worth it. Not so sold on the boilers. They do make your funnels more efficient. We'll see maybe what it will look like, and if we need to squeeze, min-max it to get down to one funnel, say, we might go for that. Our engines, yeah, gas engines are going to be super expensive. Yeah, a couple 100,000. Probably aren't going to go that far. Well, even gas turbines aren't much cheaper. We could go, but just diesel. 525, 5. Actually, you're cheaper. Interesting. So what was my standard turbines? 400,000. And what do I get for that 100,000? Vessel operations, it does make your weight less, smoke interference, funnel capacity, acceleration, ship repairs. I mean, it's pretty good. Let's try it. We'll go with like pretty darn good stuff, and then we'll see if we can't come back from there. And again, I'm not so worried about awesome turning and stuff. We are going to be pretty chunky. Let's just go for a moderate shaft, and then our steering, maybe electro-hydro. I mean, this just kind of improves our turning rate Maybe even just hydraulic or electric. I don't think we need to go super nimble on this. I would like the better armor. We'll see how that holds us up. And I don't feel we need to go super anti-torp. Now, they've got 2 destroyers. They are a bit of a risk, but I'd like to think we can take care of them and do a little bit dancing around torpedoes. So I'm tempted to go somewhere in the middle-ish to give us a bit of defense. So it's going to be anti-torp 3. Let's go for a double bubble. Hull bottom, see how that goes. And we'll give ourselves some reinforced bulkheads, I think would be nice. Anti-flood, again, it would be good. And I think we need to pick up at least 1 level of this, potentially 2. And a little bit Citadel armor as well. Let's start with 5. I think that might be a stretch and we can always pare it back. Okay, we don't even put anything on it yet, but I think that's maybe where we'll sit for the propulsion and protection. So we do have to slap some towers on. And again, cost is a factor. So what are we getting for this? Although, I mean, it's 9,000, right? Actually, hang on. Yeah, 9,504,000. Yeah, so it'd be 9 here. Doesn't feel like a huge amount of money, to be honest. If I was to slap you like so, yeah. Let's build it expensive and then see what we need to cheap out on as we advance. Okay, that looks like a vessel. Let's throw down a mega funnel. I mean, alright, just go here for just now. I'll have to play around with positioning stuff. What are you doing? It's 70%. Interesting. It gives me an 82. You know, obviously if we put another one on, it's going to be super efficient, but then it does give us some leeway to be getting hits. Oh, actually, that's interesting. That's brought our cost down, presumably. Actually, I don't know why it's brought our cost down, but it has brought our cost down, which is a start. Okay, and we're super efficient at engines. Interesting. Right, I'll hold that where it is for just now. Guns. We need to talk guns. I would like, I think, I'm tempted on all squid teams. I would go up to 20. Just check where we are, yeah. We could, because we could try and set it like silly range. Oh, we need to change our propulsion stuff. Let's just say we started with your triple barrel does rotate slower. Does it shoot slower? Reload time 143, 12, 2%. I'm up to 17%. I might go triples. We'll see how this looks. We might just have a 6-barrel broadside. No, it just doesn't sound that appealing. Can I slide you any further forward? No, not really. Interesting. Can go there. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you happy with that? And can I put triple down below as well? Okay. And we might slide some things around. If we're to this, let's have a look at our armament. Now, max HE. I'm going to say no. And I'm almost tempted to go more AP. Because we know we're going to want it for smashing through the Seejager. Yeah, because if you look at our... let's change our shells and stuff. So if we go... If it's first for AP shells, what do we want to do? Gun range, fuse time, shell penetration. Yeah, improved shell penetration would be nice. Nerfs for damage a little bit. No real change on accuracy. Let's just go capped for kind of in the middle. Let's go all the way to the end for the HE. I'm not that confident saying to where I really want to sit on this scale, so we'll sit there for just now. Here, I think we're going to go as far as we can. Do you not have as good tech, America? You do not have... Oh no, the TNT stuff's here. I'm in the wrong place. Derpa. Okay. This isn't giving me expensive shells. Fine. Range, penetration, damage is all pretty good though. And here, again, it's going to be expensive. Let's see if we can afford it. Let's go for extra ammo. Just standard shells is fine. I think what do we want to do in terms of reloading? Probably not auto 2. Maybe semi-auto or enhanced. The aiming speed's a little bit annoying. We'll keep an eye on that, and then for this one, I don't really worry too much about that. Let's try a bit of electric hydro. Right. I do want good radar. I want a range detection fighter. I would like, we'll go max sonar, but that might change, and we'll go for that one as well. Okay. How are we sitting? We're still miles off in our costs. Granted, we haven't got secondaries yet. Now, you, my friend, how are you looking now in terms of your penetration? So, now this is interesting. So even now, so this is actually quite good. At this ranges, actually, our HE will penetrate his deck from 12, 15, 17 kilometers out. So there we could use HE at that distance quite happily. Interesting. So maybe that's what we do. Maybe we do go... We'll go increased HE, but not max. Max HE for secondaries, I can get behind that. And then maybe, because at this range, most ranges, we should be able to be penetrating him with our HE shells. Okay, so we've got a kind of 9-gun broadside. So 2 of these will have 18 barrels shooting at him. He will have 8 shooting at us. That seems like a nice advantage. I like that. Granted, they'll have some 11 inches being thrown in as well. So I'm relatively happy for how we're doing. Now we are going to need some secondaries that we really want to fight off the probably the heavy cruisers with. We're all going to put in a whole bunch of secondary range guns. The answer is not very many places. Can these have? Oh, you can put it up here actually. Okay. Don't think we're going to put torpedoes in, but we could. Get rid of those ones. Although, yeah, how are you in a different height? You are in a different height. Okay, well, let's keep them then. Okay, they do clash. Fine. How many do we really need is a bit of a question here, I think. What's that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 aside. That probably seems okay. I don't like this. Doesn't look right. Maybe we're going to take this one off. And we'll drop this one in here. That's more about aesthetics than actual use. And then I would like some smaller secondaries. Probably, I know, some double barred 4 inches. Can they fit in a few places? Yeah, just in case these destroyers get close. Something that's going to ideally shred them before they pose a threat. And you can plop you guys in there and in there. And then I can do it with some, I don't know, a couple of 2 inches up here. Just to help us defend ourselves if things get a bit rowdy. Oh, I like these positions. They're cool. Okay. You're good, you're good. Some guns have a poor sector fire. Yeah, but it's probably these little ones, which isn't so much of a concern. Honest, everything seems okay, actually. That's not ideal, but it's just a wee 2-inch gun, so sorry. And again, they're not awesome, but they will do. Cool. So that's only... Hang on, this is only 1.5 billion. If I keep this under 1 point something billion, I get 3 of these. Interesting. Other bit we're going to play around with is we wanted a lot. Our main deck there's about actually already 12. We'll get 6,000 tons to play with. Our pitch is a little funky, but so be it. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and play around with this design to kind of polish it off. But I think we're going to go with this, and we're going to have 3 of these. And I think that's going to go very well for us. Alright, I will see you in a mo. Okay, tweaks in place. I added just an auxiliary engine, just to help out with some of the repairs and speeds and all that good stuff. And tweaked around the armour to have 16-inch belt, 12-inch deck. Again, we're not going to be able to we actually have better deck than the Seejager now. And I think we're going to try and stay at ranges where deck matters, but again, he's going to penetrate us with armour-piercing shells anyway. And I think that was it. So yeah, 1.6 to 6.5 billion. So we can have 3 of those coming in at about 4.9 billion. You know, which is a couple $100 million to spare even. Awesome. Oh, and with a slight nod to this, you know, Anglo-American cooperation, and very fitting as well, she's now the USS Revenge. Obviously an awesome British ship name, but on an American hull. So there we go. So the only thing to do now, click Save Design, is to jump into a battle and see what that looks like. Okay, we're going to jump ahead the first few minutes to battle, just because it is quite a lengthy fight, and I want to kind of cut out a few humdrum bits and pieces where I can. So we'll rejoin the action when we close to about 30 kilometers, and we're starting to see the first hits land. At some point, presumably, he's going to start shooting back. Oh, partial pen, first blood to us. It's going to need a fair few of those. Though, hello. So this is actually, so one of our ships here is targeting the heavy cruiser. And obviously these things cannot stand up to anywhere close to the same amount of punishment. That first hit has already damaged the rudder, started a fire and caused flooding. Boom! 20-inch shell plunging through the deck. Oh, I'd love to see it. All they can see is flashes in the distance. Who are you shooting at? This one, I think. It's not a good sign when it's hard to tell which ship your ships are trying to shoot at. But yeah, look at that. A couple of more hits at this range on these heavy cruisers, and they'll go down. Ooh, lots of splashes. Just got to keep an eye. I've got plenty of ammo for just now, but I do have to keep an eye on it. Nope, first shot out, 29 kilometers. 28. Range is closing slightly, we'll need to keep an eye on that. Even 1940 actually was pretty poor this range. Looks like he's kind of coming for a charge. Let's go back to our battle line. Now I'm going to have to keep steaming in this direction. We will come to a kind of closest point and then start to get further apart again as we kind of go ships in the night. And our 8 inches are starting to get well now. Excellent. They should hopefully tear through this thing quite nicely, he says as this shell gets blocked. Okay, there we go. Partial pen, main tower, fire. Nice. Let's see if we can take one of them out early doors. I don't think... I was about to say I don't think we've been hit yet. Why? Why would you even try and say that right now? Right. I like these kind of these 8-inch broadsides, which are slightly, you know, unsynced. It's almost like a rapid fire gun. Except with 8-inch naval shells. Oh, see you later. There's one massive one there. A couple of 20-inch shells. Yeah, okay. And there we have one heavy cruiser being burnt out. A quick squiz of a log. Yeah, so last three there. 320 shells hit in a single salvo, causing like 6,000 damage, and away she went. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Right, back to, sorry with it, but the camera's a little bit oversensitive, so I'll try not to do that wiggly woggly stuff. Right, and we'll be back to our long range, lobbing large shells of this Seejager. Now he does have me on tonnage and armor, but we do have, what do we have? 9, 18, 27 barrels to his 8. And our shells are bigger as well. I would like to bloody him up a little bit before we think about closing him further. 9% hit chance is pretty good though, I'll take that. Oh, that was a nice hit. Where are we? There we go, 20 shell. Oh, was it on you? Oh, I didn't know we were shooting at you. Ooh, a bit of damage there. 19 hull damage there. We have lit him on fire, that's a start. Yeah, at this range our HE will be going through their deck. But we're like, a little bit on luck here. In a minute, he's having the luck of the draw. We are not landing any of our hits. That's 3 salvos in a law. He's brutalized the Minnesota there. What's going on? Might turn in there. Come on, gents. Better. Let me start landing your hits, please. Miss, 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 miss. I mean, we say there's a 12%. There we go. I wanted to see those land, but hey ho. What's your hit chance, Doc? Will you tell me? Claiming like 3%? 1.5, 1.6. I think you're hitting far more than that, but who am I to judge? Yeah, I balance. Not balance, luck. We're not really landing the hits I wanted to. %'s not bad though. We're gonna have to change our tack in a minute because I'm gonna start losing our angles. I feel like here he's inflicted 17,000 worth of damage and has only taken 1.4. This is not really the numbers you want to see. It's just aren't doing the damage I wanted them to do. Maybe we do have to close to about 20k, switch over to HE. Try and get that to do the job. Right. I mean, we do have a lot. We could just use most of our AP at this range. So why not? Well, I suppose the why not would be if we're on the wrong end of the fight and we start to take more damage when he does. The other thing is, if we go closer, we're also starting to engage with his escorts, and then we're going to have our fire split, and not for particularly long, perhaps for long enough. Oh, how is he hitting the Minnesota so much? Foul. Okay. Trying to edge a little closer. We're starting to do a little bit of damage, but it's not quite what we need it to be. Again, make sure broadsides are in play. Might be able to get our 8 inches to engage their secondaries. That's not a bad way of doing it. Have 8 inches pick off the ones that are supporting, and have our main gun still going after the Seejager. Also, the heavy cruiser is a slightly different kettle of fish because he will get involved. We should be able to essentially pick off a destroyer at this range without return fire. Okay, and indeed we're starting to pepper that thing, that's good. Rune looks like he's coming for a bit of a challenge, okay. Oh, we're doing a bit more damage now, I like this. Green numbers are good. Maybe focus on this heavy cruiser. Let's go for it. Fire everything. See if we can't see him off. We can only take one hit with our 20 inches to get the job done here. Perhaps we've gone too big with our guns, and then because you do get hurt with obviously the reload time. I don't feel like they're launching that many more salvos against this. Okay. We're getting there. A hail of fire coming. Doesn't look too bad shape for just now though. Massively rating our gunnery, to be perfectly honest. some good hits there. I think that might be the death of her. Oh. Okay, well that's a problem. I think we might be able to get away with this. I'm trying to work out whether we need to go, Revenge needs to go faster or Minnesota needs to go slower. Yeah, I think what we want to do is really reduce our speed. And it's going to harmlessly sail between our vessels, he says confidently. There we go. Beautiful. Nicely done, gentlemen. I would love you for you to eliminate this threat entirely. You're dragging on somewhat. And all the time we're firing at the rune, we're giving free shots to the Seejager. Maybe the time we want to close in and just finish her off. And again, come back to that kind of 20k range we were talking about against the Seejager. There's still one destroyer in fine health and one pretty damaged one kicking about somewhere. Our health is still pretty good all around the board. Fortunately, so is the Seejager's. Man, this heavy cruiser will not die. Ooh, big hit there on the Revenge. Seems to have taken it well. Okay, Destroyer has died without much thought at all, to be honest. We're starting to get our tertiaries involved. Might not do much, but they'll do something. Seeger's still looking pretty darn fine, frustratingly. As is the rune. Come on, man. These are rookie numbers. We need better numbers than this. These are better, but still. Right, we're going to stay at a bit of a distance just until this destroyer gets dealt with. Just maybe open up our line again, and no doubt it's going to fire a salvo of torpedoes at me. Maybe start manoeuvring with that in mind. Let's get them to target their secondaries against that. Alt, right click, over we go. Just trying to change course. Not erratically, but frequently. Just try and make it harder for them to get torpedo spread away. How are we doing? Oh, some good hits against the rune, that's nice. I need to get these distractions out of the way. Oh! Where's a torpedo hit? One we should be able to tank. Finally sunk the ruin, maybe? Oh, wrong button, apologies. But I think we'll have to detach you. So everyone has their own battle line, not a problem. Delaware charges bravely on. Some great hits now against the ruin, which might finally give up the ghost. It was just, you know, the massive Seejager we've got to deal with. I think our biggest problem has been our time to kill that heavy cruiser. Just sucked up a lot of resources. Right, let's put your 20s back into action against the Seejager. Put your secondaries against that destroyer. You can do likewise. And Delaware is currently just tanking fire. Let's get to try and turn a little bit. You guys are going okay. I want you to open up your angles. Don't hit each other, please, for goodness sake. So you slow down ever so slightly. Try not to make too target-rich environment for them. Okay, will you please sink? Okay, finally. The rune is down. Just the minor detail of the Seejager. Maybe let's see about bring up some more distance. You're going the wrong way. Come back over this way, please. Annoys me we can't finish off this tiddly little thing. Hits. The hits are regular, they're just not amazing. think the secondary fire is pretty brutal. Okay. Surely you must be on your way out now. Yeah, there we go. 8k damage, that's got to be pretty brutal. We have a joy. Let's try and, yeah, I think run away a little bit from Seejager if we can. Should max speed? Yeah, only... You say 30, I don't think it is. It's this hail of secondaries is pretty brutal. That's how you team up with Delaware. By just doing that. That was the wrong one. And maybe the unaptly named Revenge is just trying to extend the range a little bit. May not be able to do it. What speed can you actually get to? .4. 21. Okay. Looks like you're gonna have to fight it. I mean, she's trying. But I think she's going to go down pretty soon. That was a good hit. 2 rounds of good hits, actually. How are you not dead? Of course, if we lose a third of our tonnage, we also lose a third of our guns as well, which is not ideal. We're running out of AP shells. Okay, we can't stay at range. Well, I guess in we go. At max speed, whatever that may look like. We may actually need to turn around a little bit. Try and get back towards our own ships. And you're out of AP shells. Damn. She's gonna go soon. Low fuel. Ah, brilliant. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I can't believe they've expelled almost all their primary ammo. We don't exactly have much to show for it. And we are now sailing back towards friendlies. You are good. Not that you're going to make it, but at least you should have the enemy heading in the right direction. Bravely fighting on for now, though. And there she goes, structural damage. Okay. Starting to seriously doubt our chances here, but let's keep going. Oh, we're on low fuel as well. Not ideal. Probably why our speed's been nerfed. Yeah. Let's actually bring you down to, say, 14. Because that should allow the Minnesota to ever so slowly catch up. We also need this destroyer on so as not distract our guns. Although our 2 inches have expelled their ammo. Plenty of 4-inch ammo left. That would be useful to take out. So let's go on to save for both of these. Make sure we use them when they count. How's the Seejager doing for ammunition? It's out of 8, it's 8 inches. Still got plenty 5-inch shells left, and has a little bit of 18 inches, but not that many. Interesting. And loads of 4.5 inch. Definitely a range here we want to. I think we stay. If we can get a range where our 8 inches are involved, but his 5 inches aren't, I think that's an advantage. What is your range? Well, I mean, you can fire up to 12.5 kilometers, but it's not going to do much to us. Whereas our 8s can go all the way up to 20. Hey, finally. But you, we want to keep out of. We want to stay over 12k from you. And you're almost out of ammunition. Hey, we might just come away with this. And we're still 6 points currently on the table. We can survive another however many salvos. Ah, dang it, that 8-inch shell gun's got a few rounds left. Not many though. 36, 32. Hang in there, Delaware. Are your 8 inches involved? Angle. Oh, you guys should be fine though. No? You've got quite a lot. Let's put our secondaries onto normal. Are you going to fire? Yeah. Good. 0.8 damage. He's down to 64 shells in his main gun. We can sneak a little bit closer. Close it to, I don't know, maybe 14k or something. Question is, are our 500 shells actually going to get the job done? don't have to do that. 600 damage, that's nice. $15 kilometers. What was the magic number? I said it was 12.5, wasn't it? Okay. Maybe a wee bit of a turn away. Oh, his fires are now firing actually. Not that they're going to do much at this range. Okay. This is like two massive heavyweights, both knackered at the end of round 12. Well, he's looking a lot healthier than I am. Oh, there were some great hits there. Oh, that's not a good sign though. You're not supposed to be taking damage. Right, just keep going, keep it up. Going through hell, keep going. So they're completely out of ammo for his 80 inches. He's got like plenty of his 5-inch left. He's now in range for his 4.5, although only against this back battleship. We've still got 500 of our big boy shells. Even then, he's burning through his lower caliber stuff pretty aggressively. It's like the killbot answer, isn't it? I knew each killbot had a limit, so I send wave after wave of men. Iron flooding, as we want to see. Which one's which? It's almost out of... Oh, HE for this 4.5, which is probably the danger actually from burning out a superstructure. Still got about 30% health left. Almost out of 5-inch ammo as well. We've not managed to keep distance because it has got the speed on us at the minute. Our annoying low fuel, so you might as well turn around a little bit. There are as many guns open as possible. All these blocks are nice to see though. A little bit of damage there. Next moved on to its AP for its 4.5-inch. It's very soon out to be out of 5-inch ammo. So I think we're going to want to start closing this gap. Wow, what's my speed? 9. Let's detach you. So you turn around this way. We'll see if we can drag a victory here. See if we can get closer for our R8s and R4s to get some work done. My real wish now is that he just runs away from me. That would be pretty sad times. So you're at 20s, you have some 20-inch left, okay, good. You are completely out of 20-inch, so let's get you nice and close if we can. Health's coming down slowly but surely. So Minnesota, weirdly enough, has 1 million 2-inch ammo left. Might as well start peppering them with that. I don't know if it's going to do anything at all. But if it's all you've got, it's all you've got. Delaware's still got some of its big ammo left, which we really need to hit with, but apparently none of it too. The Seejager only has its 4.5-inch. You're getting there, Minnesota. You're getting. This is when I said it. When I think, you know what? I should have added a little bit of torpedoes to them. Now would have been the ideal time for a torpedo run. You know, something. Every day is a school day. You need to kind of turn this way. Actually doing pretty good work. Yeah, you can see that red line go down now. Right, oddly enough, I'm going to have you slow down. Pepper R. Cross our T. You've had a whole turret blown off. Maybe that's why you've got 20 ammunition. Oh, I don't think only some of the guns can fire because of that angle she's now leaning at. Not that they're doing much, a little bit here and there. Careful don't get hit by our own shells here. So, I want you to turn this way, pick up your speed again. We've got these cool guns on the back though. Little tiny 2 inches. Ah, engines bust, excellent. She's got to be going down. Finally. Oh, I was not confident in a large chunk of that battle. Because of the angle, she's pretty much lost her inability to shoot back. All her guns are pointing in funny places. Now just a case of can we sink her before we run out of ammunition, or she manages to somehow sail away from us. Which I'd like to say the answer is going to be yes. Come on. Stop pumping, give up. Yes! Oh my god, this video's an hour and 10 minutes, I'm going to have to cut it down. Okay. Awesome. Ish. That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. It was the rune, man. That rune absolutely screwed us. It took so long for it to go down. But we got in their end. So, 2, 3, 4, 5 points for ships, plus a bonus 2 for sinking them all. So 7, minus 1 for losing the revenge of a namesake of our class. So 6 points for week 3. I'm happy enough with that. Let's lock it in, and we'll see how everyone else got on. Thanks for watching this mammoth fight, and I'll catch you all next week. Cheerio!